Hello and welcome back to Euro Football Daily for this week's Euro transfer talk. We've made it to December, which means it's just 1 month until the transfer window creaks open once more as teams get down to business. As ever, if you have a lead on anything, let us know in the comments below. But for now, let's get into it. Starting with Arsenal, who are scouring the continent for their next big signing, but may have issues closer to home to deal with first. Nicolas Pepe is the Gunners' record signing, costing the club £72 million back in summer 2019, coming off a season where he scored 22 goals and contributed 11 assists for Lille. But despite the excitement from the fans upon his arrival, the 25-year-old has really flattered to deceive. Last season saw him bag 11 goal contributions in little over 2,000 Premier League minutes, often showing glimpses of what many thought the attacker was capable of, but this season it's a very different story. The Ivorian international has started just 2 league games, with just 1 goal to show for his 280 minutes of action so far. In fact, his game time has mostly been reserved for the Europa League, a competition in which Arsenal and Mikel Arteta are known for giving game time to the backups and the youngsters. Well, apparently the situation has reached a point where the North London club are willing to offload Pepe as soon as next month, as Arteta's frustration with his inconsistency grows. The red card against Leeds last week hardly helped matters. Having signed a 5-year deal worth around £140k a week in 2019, club chiefs are fearful of another Ozil situation, with Pepe unlikely to get a run in the starting lineup anytime soon. Having accepted they paid over the odds, Arsenal are reportedly open to players plus cash deals, or even a loan-to-buy option. An indictment on a player who promised so much and apparently impresses in training but is yet to live up to expectations on the pitch. With 3.5 years left on his deal, it looks like Arteta is happy to let the club cut their losses with a player bought by the previous regime at the Emirates. But what do you guys think? Does Pepe have a future at Arsenal? Let us know in the comments below. Meanwhile, Arsenal are still looking to bolster their defensive ranks, with the name at the top of the list now seeming to be Ibrahima Konaté. Previously, their number 1 target appeared to be Frenchman Upamecano, Konaté's compatriot and teammate at RB Leipzig, but he has since attracted the attention of bigger clubs like Bayern Munich and Liverpool. So despite a similar asking price in the range of €45 million, which is Konaté's release fee, Arteta believes the 21-year-old is a more realistic target. However, despite making 27 Bundesliga starts in the 2018-19 campaign, Konaté has only made 8 more in the 18 months since, having spent a long time out due to injuries and a struggle to regain full fitness. Signed on a free from Sochaux in summer 2017, he now faces the struggle of trying to displace one of Upamecano or Willi Orban at the heart of Julian Nagelsmann's defence. A difficult job considering their 6 goals conceded so far this campaign is the lowest in the Bundesliga. As ever though, RB Leipzig will feel under no immediate pressure to sell, with it set to be the release fee or nothing if Arsenal want to snap up the youngster, as Konaté's contract runs until 2023. But is it worth Mikel Arteta shelling out that much for him, or is the money better spent elsewhere, such as on a creative midfielder? Let us know. And of course, the main midfielder they've been linked with over the last year is Aouar. Lyon's 22-year-old starlet has been long admired by Mikel Arteta, and the belief was that it was a toss-up as to whether Arsenal would sign him or Thomas Partey, ultimately settling for the former Atletico Madrid man. So far this season, the Frenchman has featured in 8 league matches, contributing 3 goals, but is in boss Rudy Garcia's bad books after refusing to train as an unused substitute against Angers just over a week ago. This resulted in him not even being in Lyon's squad for their victory on Sunday. Lyon owner and president Jean-Michel Aulas is set against selling Aouar, having previously laughed off reported interest to the tune of €40 million, as well as stating that Arsenal will have to compete with other clubs if they want to sign him. And it has just emerged one of those other clubs may well be Juventus. Andrea Pirlo is seemingly not content with the 6 central midfielders he currently has at his disposal, with the 41-year-old still to settle on a formation, yet alone a consistent starting lineup, despite maintaining an unbeaten start to the Serie A campaign. So what do Juve think will be enough to steal Aouar from under Arsenal's nose? With his asking price expected to be at least €60 million, the old lady are willing to offer players in exchange, with fullback De Chilio and midfielder Bernardeschi the most likely candidates in such a deal. There is the possibility as well that Juve will chance their arm with a 2-year loan deal, before paying that €60 million figure at the end of it all to make it permanent. Although they are also willing to table close to that money now if Aulas rejects all their proposals. So what do you make of this? Do Juventus need Aouar, or does Arteta just need to get the move done at any cost? Let us know down below. One player that could make way for Aouar's arrival at Juventus, although he wouldn't bring in any money, is Sami Khedira. The German hasn't featured at all at the Allianz Stadium this season, being firmly bottom in the pecking order, not even being registered for the side's Champions League campaign. Having averaged less than 700 minutes a year since 2018, and the arrivals of Arthur and Weston McKennie, this is hardly a surprise, especially considering his health concerns as well. But whilst there were rumours that his employers would be willing to simply terminate his contract, due to expire in June, ahead of the January transfer window, Khedira has now come out and disputed that. Whilst the 33-year-old has accepted he is now no more than a backup under Pirlo, he insists he will honour his contract and continue to be a positive influence around the first team squad and on the training pitch. He did, however, admit that it would be a dream to move to the Premier League in an interview with German TV. Everton and Spurs, managed by Khedira's former Real Madrid bosses Carlo Ancelotti and Jose Mourinho, have been linked with the World Cup winner, with the midfielder saying he still talks with both of his previous managers. Manchester United and West Ham are also linked with the 77-time capped German. Although you'd imagine if either Ancelotti or Mourinho made a move in the coming months, it'd be hard for him to turn it down. Sticking in Serie A, with the side many thought would be Juventus's main challengers to the title. Starting strongly but surprisingly outshone by their city rivals, Inter Milan currently sit in second spot, boasting the best attacking record in the division. And for that, they have to thank Romelu Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez, despite the latter's future at the San Siro remaining uncertain. It is suggested that the Argentine has issued an ultimatum to the club, after discovering that despite the Nerazzurri's astronomical valuation of him, he is actually in the bottom half of earners amongst the first team. In order to stay, Martinez wants to see his wage over quadrupled, from the 40k he currently makes a week to close to 170k. Inter have reportedly offered to double his salary, but obviously that is not enough. Martinez, who has scored 6 goals in all competitions so far this season, is flirting with interest from Manchester City, who are eyeing up a replacement for Sergio Aguero, as well as both Barcelona and Real Madrid, all of whom have so far balked at the €100 million price tag. And regardless of if he stays or goes, it seems he could be in for a big payday. There is talk that the 23-year-old wants super agent George Mendes to broker his next big deal, although his current agent has denied this, also adding that his client is happy at Inter Milan. And of course, his club are under no pressure to sell, with Martinez's current deal not set to expire until 2023. Money does talk though, and a number of clubs will continue to chase him until he makes his decision. But what should that decision be? Should Martinez stay at Inter, replace Aguero, or head to La Liga? Let us know in the comments. And that's all we have time for today. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more great content. And finally, if you've heard some interesting transfer rumours of your own, do send them in and they might feature on our next show. Bye for now.